How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Black Clover anime. And yeah, I accidentally missed last week's episode review. I'm sorry about that. I was actually pretty busy last Tuesday. Didn't get a chance to review the episode, so I'm going to review that episode very briefly in this video. The main topic here is going to be today's episode, which was amazing. Just flat out amazing. Both episodes are amazing, but man, this episode, 162, may be the best episode of Black Clover so far. If not the best, it's in the top 5, for sure. But anyways, if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Anyways, let's get on to the double review, shall we? Okay, starting with episode 161. This was Yuno versus Zenon. And this episode itself was amazing. And I also would consider this episode a 10 out of 10 episode. And it goes to show how strong the Dark Triad are. The Dark Disciples themselves are strong, and in this episode, these Dark Disciples were fighting at roughly 40% of the Devil's full power. And we can see that Yuno scales above these guys, so he's at least over 40% Devil power. Unfortunately, Zenon is too powerful, and he uses 55% and basically defeats Yuno. But before that, Yuno actually helps two Golden Dawn members, Klaus and Litoli, I think that's what her name is. But unfortunately, they're unable to stand up against Leon, and he actually skewers them. And yeah, it looks super brutal, by the way. Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the darkest moments in Black Clover, just seeing those two just completely, like, stabbed by all these bones. It's crazy. But anyways, Belle is also freaking out in this episode. She realizes that Zenon is complete bad news and that Yuno needs to be on guard. But unfortunately, Zenon, at 55% of the Devil's power, is just too much for Yuno, and he pretty much takes him out. Also, William Vengeance falls as well. He is defeated, seemingly off-screen, by Zenon. And yeah, things are not looking good with Yuno down. The captain and the vice captain are both down, so yeah, things are not looking good. It looks like the Golden Dawn is going to be completely wiped out completely. And Ralph arrives on the scene and finds Yuno basically on the verge of death. He's basically stabbed through the stomach, and Belle is crying on Yuno, begging him not to go. But fortunately for Yuno, William Vengeance's tree healing magic is actually present and actually manages to save the Golden Dawn members that were on the verge of death, including Yuno himself. However, the Golden Dawn members that were already dead, they weren't coming back, so unfortunately, half the squad is gone. And yeah, it's a very tragic scene, and Yuno is taking it especially hard because, yeah, he basically feels like he let everybody down by basically losing this battle. And that's pretty much where the episode comes to an end. Now, this episode alone is worthy of a 10 out of 10, because it just shows a number of things. First, it shows off the power of the Dark Triad, and just one member alone decimated the Golden Dawn, supposedly the best squad in the Clover Kingdom and the Magic Knights. So that's saying a lot. And considering Yuno doesn't even match up to 55% of this dude's devil power, that just shows how powerful the devils are compared to, normal Magic Knights. Even ones that are, of royalty don't even stand up to them, and it's crazy to see the Dark Disciples and the Dark Triad just doing this much damage. In addition, I also think that the tragedy of the Golden Dawn here was also something that was much needed. No offense to Black Clover and Tabata and the series as a whole, but there are times where I feel like there really isn't consequences or enough, tension in the series. Like, it always feels like the good guys are able to come out on top somehow because they surpass their limits. But in this case, this didn't work out. Yuno did not surpass his limits in this battle because, things turned tragic. We lost half of the Golden Dawn, including a few prominent members, and including one that was involved in the elf invasion when he was possessed by an elf. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but yeah, we lost him. So it shows that the Dark Triad, this arc, it's not messing around, and people can die in this arc. And probably not the main cast of characters, but yeah, some people are probably going to lose their lives in this battle with the Dark Triad. So I like the fact that the series is doing this and going in this direction. But I think the best thing this episode has going for it is the fact that Yuno gets much needed character development in this episode. No offense, guys, but I'm not a big fan of Yuno. I think he's kind of a boring rival. He lacks a lot of emotion, and yeah. He also is a bit of a Gary Stew, so. But in this episode completely challenges that, because he gets beaten by Zenon, so he takes a massive L in this episode. So it's something he's going to have to work towards in the future to defeat this dude. That's number one. Number two, he shows a ton of emotion in this episode. He also shows a ton of resolve to defeat these guys and protect his squad. He also shows that he cares for his squad quite a bit. It seems like he was a bit emotionless and didn't, but in this episode he shows that deep down he truly cares about his squad, and he cares about being the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, and he wants to protect his squad and protect the Clover Kingdom. So he shows a ton of resolve in this episode. And I have to say, it is much needed and I love it. So that wraps up episode 161. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Amazing episode. Fantastic. Moving on to episode 162. So in this episode, the other two members of the Dark Triad set out, with Dante going to find Yami, the other half, in their plan. And Vanica goes to the Heart Kingdom just to mess with them. More on her later. She doesn't do a whole lot in this episode. She just sets out for the Heart Kingdom, and it freaks everybody out there because they realize they're under attack and they're taking out quite a few people. So expect a battle in the next episode or two with the Heart Kingdom and the Clover Knights that are in the Heart Kingdom versus Vanica and her Dark Disciples. Asta heads out to the Black Bull's base to give his fellow Black Bull members some food from the Heart Kingdom. He's sharing with them, so he's such a swell guy. But the members that are there are Vanessa, Gray, Gauche, Henry, and that's pretty much it. Finral, I believe he's off trying to go find Yami or go see him, because Yami's currently away at a captain's meeting. So they're kind of just hanging out, and little do they know, Dante is there, and he's already got control of the Black Bull's base, and he's lifting it up. And this dude, Dante, this guy has some powerful gravitational magic, and he can basically cause the gravity to just bring everybody down. It's so powerful, it just shocks everyone. Henry gets the Black Bull's base into action. Ghost tries to use his that mirror in his eye to try and hit Dante, and literally nothing's doing anything. Asta also tries to attack Dante, and he seemingly gets killed, but it's thanks to Vanessa's thread magic and the cat that she has. Thanks to that, Asta is actually alive and avoids death. And Dante over here, he's actually very interested in Vanessa over here. Not only her magic is arcane stage, but the fact is, she's beautiful. So he wants her to be his woman. Obviously, she doesn't want anything to do with this dude. This dude's just a simp for Lucifer, brah. I had to throw that in there. Now Dante sees the thread magic as a bit of a problem and decides to take it off because his woman is not allowed to use that magic on him. So he shuts it off, and it basically extinguishes Vanessa's mana. She's exhausted at this point. She's no longer able to use thread magic. And as a result, Henry also passes out because he has that issue where he has to be continuously absorbing mana, so he's out of energy, and it causes the entire Black Bull's base to basically collapse. This is where things go kind of haywire at this point. Now Dante uses his gravitational magic to actually pin Asta down. He realizes that Asta is actually possessed by a devil as well. Tries to have a conversation with him, but Asta doesn't want to see eye to eye with this guy because he's a mass murderer, he's evil. Yeah, he wants nothing to do with him, and he can't stand the fact that he's hurting his own citizens. So Dante over here actually wants to awaken Asta a little bit more and actually pressure him and see what he's actually capable of. So he decides to injure one of his fellow Magic Knights. So he creates a sword from this boulder and basically stabs Ghost right in the stomach. And yeah, this causes Asta to go berserk, and before that, we actually see a little silhouette of what seems to be Asta's mother shows up. And before he can do anything else, Asta just goes completely berserk. He basically has his Naruto Nine-Tail Fox moment, or I guess Hollow Ichigo moment, where he just goes completely berserk and he's just attacking Dante like a wild animal. Like, Asta's completely out of control at this point, and he's just attacking him. He manages to actually hit Dante at the end of this episode, which angers Dante quite a bit, who's using, I believe, either 50 to 60% of his devil power. So, yeah, Asta, in his enraged form, is actually doing decent against Dante, but he's still not able to get a clean hit on him. Now, Ghosh at this point is basically on death's door. Yeah, he's bleeding out, and Nero's not around to seal his wound, so yeah, they're in a very tight spot here, and the only thing she can do is cry because of how helpless she is to save Ghosh, and how she couldn't do anything to help him. And yeah, so more on these two later on in probably the next episode. So this episode was amazing. Easily one of the best episodes of Black Clover. In fact, it could potentially be the best episode of Black Clover. Based on the animation alone, it's amazing. I thought the comedy moments early on in the episode were funny. I like the action in this episode. Again, it is showing that the Dark Triad are, they're not to be messed with. These guys are super powerful. In fact, if it wasn't for the thread magic, Asta would be dead in this episode. Just straight up dead. Just like in the last episode, where Yuno would have been dead if it wasn't for Vengeance's, tree magic that healed him. Yeah. Asta would have been dead here. So it goes to show how powerful this guy is. And again, we get to see Asta just going berserk, which is amazing to see in this episode. And I am very much looking forward to the remaining 8 episodes of Black Clover. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for this video. So both episodes are 10 out of 10s. They're both amazing. We had amazing animation in episode 162. An amazing highlight moment in both episodes with action in both. And this is just the start of the Dark Triad arc. We'll see what happens in the next 8 episodes, but I'm looking forward to each episode. So again, they're both 10 out of 10 episodes. But guys, in the comment section down below, what did you think of these episodes? Did you love them? Did you hate them? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all later. Have a good day or night wherever you're at, and peace.